Today's story is the incredibly sad story about two young hikers who travelled to Morocco for the camping trip of a lifetime and somehow ended up beheaded in the high Atlas Mountains. So who were Louisa and Maren? What happened to them? Why were they murdered in such a brutal, barbaric way, and why is the murder linked to the terrorist group IS? Before we get into today's story, World's End posts regularly tell you some incredible, entertaining and tragic tales of travelling around the world. If you want to see more, please like and subscribe so you don't miss out. So who were Louisa and Maren? Louisa was born in 1994 and grew up in Ikast, Denmark. She had been travelling to various different countries such as Argentina, Peru and Norway. Louisa applied for participation in a polar expedition in 2017 and 2018. Maren was born in 1990 and was from Bern, Norway. Not much else is known about Maren. Louisa and Maren were students at the University of Southeastern Norway, where they studied outdoor recreation and nature guidance to become tour guides. The pair had arrived in Morocco on the 9th of December as tourists with the intention of trekking and chasing experiences. The two women first arrived in Marrakesh before travelling to Imlil in the Atlas Mountains. The village of Imlil is popular with tourists and travellers as the main base for summiting Toubkal, which is the highest peak in North Africa. They were reportedly on a Christmas camping trip and were studying to become tour guides. The Atlas Mountains are a mountain range in North Africa. It separates the Sahara Desert from the Mediterranean Sea and the Atlantic Ocean. The range's highest peak is Toubkal, which is in central Morocco, an elevation of 4,167 metres. For nature lovers and hikers, the High Atlas offers a total shift of scenery. With mountains, forests, cliffs, sheltering and traditional villages, the High Atlas is one of Morocco's must-see destinations. The Atlas Mountains have always been seen as a pretty safe place to visit, which only makes what happens all that much more tragic. Sadly, on the 17th of December 2018, the bodies of Louisa and Maren were found decapitated in the foothills of Mount Toubkal near the village of Imlil in the Atlas Mountains of Morocco. A pair of French hikers came across the decapitated bodies of the victims and their tent near a trail connecting Imlil to Mount Toubkal. Who and why would someone attack and murder two innocent girls in such a brutal way? A suspect was quickly apprehended after the incident, after police found an ID in the victim's tent that had been left behind by the suspect. 3 additional suspects were later apprehended by the police while riding a bus during the morning rush hour in the nearby city of Marrakesh. The 3 suspects were caught in possession of bladed weapons. One of them is assumed to be the leader of the group, and the 4 men had shot a video the week before the murders where they pledged the allegiance to ISIS. The killers had agreed to carry out a terrorist act on either security services or foreign tourists, before deciding to travel to the Imlil region to look for foreigners and where they would target the 2 backpackers. Disgustingly, they reportedly recorded the murders and released the footage. I don't want to talk about the murderers in too much detail, hence why I've not named any names. Knowing they do not deserve to be in the limelight more than they already have, the story is about Louisa and Maren, and how they should be remembered. As you can imagine, not much has been said by the family, but we do have some heartwarming words from Louisa's ex-boyfriend, who stayed best friends after their split. He says that Louisa was funny, full of energy, a bundle of joy, inclusive, caring and thoughtful, who saw beauty in the smallest detail. In Morocco, news of the attack was met with widespread outrage and condemnation. The incident received extensive coverage in the international press. Reactions in the native countries of the victims were of shock and outrage. A public torchlit vigil was held in Maren's native hometown of Bern in support of her family and loved ones. In total, 24 went on trial in Morocco. Of those charged, 23 suspects are Moroccans from Marrakesh, and 1 is a Swiss-Spanish Muslim convert. 3 of them were charged with the murder, and the other 23 with various terrorist charges. In July 2019, 3 of the suspects were given the death sentence. So that's the story of Louisa Jespersen and Maren Ueland, who went looking for adventure in Morocco and ended up finding a nightmare.